The United States is a vast and varied country, with each state having its own unique set of laws. When it comes to speed limits, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Depending on the state you're in, the maximum speed limit could be anything from 55 miles per hour to 85 miles per hour. And if you're caught speeding, the penalties can range from a simple fine to jail time. So what are the speed limits across the US? And what happens if you break them? Let's take a look. In most states, the maximum speed limit is between 55 and 70 miles per hour. However, there are some states with higher limits, such as Wyoming, 80 miles per hour, Utah, 80 miles per hour, and Texas, 85 miles per hour. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. School zones are critical areas for maintaining safe speeds. Drivers who exceed the posted speed limits in these areas can be subject to severe penalties. In the United States, school zone speed limits vary from state to state. Typically, the posted speed limit in a school zone is lower than the surrounding area. For example, the speed limit in a school zone may be 15 miles per hour while the speed limit on the road is 35 miles per hour. Violating the posted school zone speed limit can result in a fine and points on your driver's license. In some states, such as California, drivers who exceed the school zone speed limit by more than 20 miles per hour can be charged with a misdemeanor offense. To avoid getting ticketed or into an accident, it's important to obey the posted speed limit in school zones. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. The United States has a complex system of speed limits that vary from state to state. The maximum speed limit in the country is 85 miles per hour, but this is only allowed in Texas on certain highways. The majority of states have a maximum limit of 70 or 75 miles per hour. There are also different speed limits for night driving. In most states, the limit is reduced by 5 or 10 miles per hour after sunset. This is because it is more difficult to see at night and reaction times are slower. Speeding violations can result in costly fines and points on your driver's license. In some states, speeding can also lead to jail time. So it's important to know the speed limits and follow them carefully. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. When it comes to using your cell phone while driving, it is important to remember that your safe driving responsibility. In the US, there are cell phone restrictions for drivers when it comes to texting and using wireless devices. For teen drivers, these restrictions are even stricter. Here are some things to keep in mind when it comes to using your cell phone while driving. Texting while driving is one of the most dangerous things you can do on the road. If you must text, pull over to a safe spot first. Using a wireless device is also distracting and can put you and others at risk. If you must use your phone, make sure hands-free options are available and activated. Remember, even hands-free devices can be distracting. If possible, wait until you're off the road to use your cell phone. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. As of July 1, 2010, it is against the law to text while driving in the state of Florida. The law also prohibits drivers under the age of 18 from using a cell phone while driving. This is a great step in helping to make our roads safer for everyone. Texting while driving is a dangerous activity that can lead to serious accidents. In fact, studies have shown that texting while driving is more dangerous than drunk driving. It is estimated that each year, over 3,000 people are killed in car accidents caused by texting drivers. The new law in Florida will help to reduce the number of accidents caused by distracted drivers. It is important for all states to follow suit and enact similar laws to help keep our roads safe. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. As of 2019, 46 states in the US have banned texting while driving, and 41 states have put cell phone restrictions in place for teen drivers. It's about time. For too long, drivers have been putting themselves and others at risk by using their cell phones while behind the wheel. Texting while driving is one of the most dangerous things a driver can do. It's estimated that it increases your chances of being in an accident by 23 times. That's why it's so important that all states have now banned texting while driving. Cell phone restrictions for teen drivers are also vital. Young people are more likely to be involved in accidents if they're using their phones while driving. By restricting cell phone use for teens, we can help keep them safe on the roads. Overall, these cell phone restrictions are a step in the right direction. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. Highway driving can be dangerous. By following a few simple rules, you can minimize the risks. First, always wear your seatbelt. Second, obey the speed limit. Third, pay attention to your surroundings. Fourth, be cautious when passing other vehicles. Fifth, don't tailgate. Sixth, use your signals when changing lanes or turning. Seventh, don't drive under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Eighth, don't text while driving. By following these simple rules, you can make highway driving much safer for yourself and others. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. 1. No matter how good of a driver you are, there are always risks when driving on the highway. By following these essential rules, you can minimize those risks and keep yourself safe. 2. First and foremost, always be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to the other cars on the road and be prepared for anything that might happen. 3. Secondly, never take unnecessary risks while driving. If you can avoid changing lanes or passing another car, do so. Only take risks when absolutely necessary. 4. Finally, always drive defensively. This means being cautious and not assuming that other drivers will follow the rules of the road. By being a defensive driver, you can help avoid accidents. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. There are a few essential rules that can help minimize driving risks in dangerous traffic situations. Obeying the speed limit is always important, but it becomes even more crucial when road conditions are less than ideal. Slippery roads can lead to serious accidents, so it's best to take it slow and easy. It's also important to be aware of your surroundings at all times. This means keeping an eye out for potential hazards, such as animals or debris in the road. And if you see something dangerous ahead, don't hesitate to pull over and wait it out. Of course, no matter how cautious you are, accidents can still happen. That's why it's always a good idea to have insurance that will cover you in case of an emergency. By following these simple rules, you can help keep yourself safe on the highway. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below. Highway driving risks are always present, but knowing how to deal with emergencies or vehicle malfunctions can help keep you safe. Here are some tips for dealing with driving emergencies. If your vehicle starts to overheat, pull over as soon as possible and turn off the engine. Let the vehicle cool down before checking the radiator and adding coolant. If your vehicle starts to skid, ease off the accelerator and do not brake suddenly. Steer in the direction you want the front of the vehicle to go, and avoid sudden turns. If your vehicle has a flat tire, slowly pull over to the side of the road and turn on your hazard lights. Change the tire according to your owner's manual instructions. By following these tips, you can help keep yourself safe in the event of a driving emergency. For more driver education tips, study guides, and permit exam information, subscribe and click the links below.